Welcome to Around and Around, the OCD Circle. My name is Elizabeth, and I have been living with obsessive-compulsive disorder for over 60 years. I am not a therapist or a member of the medical community. I am just an ordinary person like yourself who will be sharing my thoughts and experiences with you, with the hope that you will feel less alone. If you don't have OCD, I hope you will learn some information that will help you understand this disorder better. Some of the topics I will be covering may be triggering for you as a listener. If so, I apologize in advance. Since I don't know what your triggers are, please refer to the episode summary in the show notes before listening to each episode. If at any time you feel like hurting yourself or ending your life, please call the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline by dialing 988 if you are in the United States. It is open 24 hours a day, and you will be connected with the nearest crisis center to receive immediate counseling and local mental health referrals. Now, on to today's episode. Welcome, my friends, to a new episode. I am so glad you're here. I would love to hear from you. My Yahoo mailbox is no longer working, but you can email me at aroundandaroundtheocdcircle@gmail.com anytime, or you can comment on any of my social media platforms which are listed in the show notes. Again, I would love to hear from you, hear about your story. Let's connect. A few days ago, I stumbled on an old OCD blog of mine. It was called Around and Around. And I started it in 2010, and I stopped writing on it in 2015. And I started reading my entries, and I could not believe how deep in despair I was back then. I'm locked out of that blog, and I can't get back in to add entries. So I've copied and pasted all the old entries into a new blog, and I will start adding new entries soon. The new blog link is linked below in the show notes if you want to take a look at it. I've changed the name to Around and Around the OCD Circle. Not only am I excited to see how far I've come in my OCD journey, the old blog entries are going to give me new topics and more material to talk about here. My therapist tells me that journaling is actually a part of cognitive behavior therapy, and I don't remember her ever suggesting journaling to me before, but that may be because she knew that I was blogging. I would like to suggest as a part of managing your OCD that you journal a bit each day or a few times a week so that you can watch your mental health progress, whether it be successes or not. If you haven't made much improvement, it can help you see the areas where you need to make some changes. And you don't necessarily need to write your thoughts down. One of the blog topics that I had was called Wordless Wednesday, where there was simply a photo or a drawing in that entry for the day. And I remember that I would literally go to Google and Google how I was feeling. For example, I might Google the word worthless, and then I would find images associated with that word. You would be surprised what you can learn about yourself from a simple image or an internet meme. How were you feeling? Was it a good day? Was it a bad day? What thoughts were going around and around in your head? I wish that I had a time machine where I could go back and tell myself, hey, look at me now. You will get through this. And while it has taken me years to get to this place, the time has flown by rather quickly in some respects. And since that blog ended in 2015, I have gotten married to the love of my life. I've seen my children get married. I've had grandchildren, bought a home, raised 2 awesome rescue dogs, found a great job, and I also opened my own business. And it's amazing that I survived all these years with OCD. And I'm not saying that there are days that I don't feel like giving up, because there most definitely are. The difference is that now, no matter what, I look at the good things in my life, the things that I'm grateful for, and I just somehow keep going. If there's anything I want most out of you listening to this podcast, it's that you know you're important. If you feel you're not, know that you are important to me. If this podcast helps just one person, and I hope it's you, then the work put into it is well worth it. You are worth it. You may be different than other people. You may feel lonely. You may feel left out. But you are still worth it to me. Someone is here fighting for you in your corner, and that person is me. I don't know you at all. However, I hope to one day. But I know from personal experience that if you don't make some changes, everything will stay basically the same. Complaining about it, beating yourself up for it, it doesn't change anything. It just makes you feel worse. It makes you feel like a failure. You can start today making very tiny changes in your life, in your routines, in your rituals, changes that seem to be so insignificant, like moving to another room, relocking the door twice instead of 3 times, leaving your home for just a few minutes. Whatever it is, change it just a little bit. Over time, change your patterns a tiny bit yet again. We get so stuck in these never-ending loops and patterns that we don't even think about changing them. If changing a ritual or a loop is causing you anxiety for even a split second, then you're doing it correctly. You have succeeded. The next time will be a little easier, so make sure that there is a next time. The way you can do this is by writing it down on a calendar or a journal, the change that you made. How many seconds, minutes, hours, or days did you feel anxiety? Stay with that change until the anxiety is completely gone. It may take months. That's okay. Once the anxiety is gone, change the ritual or loop again. Again, just in a very small way. Gradually, you should see some improvement and feel better in some way. And feeling better is great. Little steps turn into giant steps. Runners, they don't run a marathon the first time they put their sneakers on. And you really have all the time you need. You are competing with your brain. You're not competing with anyone else. And the brain can be very stubborn, and it likes changes even less than you do. I don't consider myself a religious person anymore, but I am spiritual. We are all here for a reason. I truly believe that. Something can't come from nothing. I think something had to create all of us. Were we created to be good, bad, happy, sad? I don't know. But it's up to us as to how we turn out. And I will no longer use my OCD as an excuse for the type of person I am. It's up to each of us to take responsibility for the way we manage our lives and our OCD. So you have OCD. Big deal. Own it. Embrace it. There are much worse things in life, truly. You have been given a chance to manage your OCD. And I'm here to help you do just that by providing you with my life experience and a listening ear. Remember, you don't have to do this alone. I highly recommend that you check out the IOC Foundation for many resources. And once this podcast is up and going for a while, I intend to start a private Facebook group where we can share our experiences. Also, before I forget, I wanted to remind you that if you would like to be interviewed on my podcast and tell your story, please reach out to me. You can be completely anonymous. I will not judge you. The only requirement is that you have been officially diagnosed and treated for OCD by a professional for at least 2 years. Again, thank you for joining me, and I hope you will return to my next episode on Around and Around the OCD Circle. Bye now.